Welcome back. Charity in Green Bay is on the clock. Give Big Green Bay, a 24-hour fundraising blitz to benefit 45 nonprofits in the area, began today at noon. Now, the kickoff event was held at Lambeau's Johnsonville Tailgate Village, as the Packers Foundation is a major partner here. But take a look at this. We are nearly 5 hours in, and already, you see the number at the top of your screen there, nearly $900,000 have been raised. That's just about $200,000 an hour right now. The Greater Green Bay Foundation is behind this blitz. And earlier today, we spoke with President and CEO Dennis Buehler. So this is year 6. If you go back to the beginning, did anyone envision the type of success that, because this is a pretty unique style of event, $8 million in 5 years. Did anyone envision that kind of success?
I don't know if we really knew what to expect. I think it really just started as an idea. You know, the Greater Green Bay Community Foundation, the Green Bay Packers, both have some pretty strong voices in our community about the role that nonprofits play, and we just felt like if we could combine those and lift those stories up, let's see what happens and create connections that these nonprofits so desperately need. I think we talk a lot about the fact we don't set a goal financially each year. It's really about telling a story and connecting people, and let's see how people respond. But to see $8 million raised in 5 years and going strong. But what's even more remarkable, Chris, is that on average, almost 44% of the individuals who come and give to the organization for the first time.
Well, you just teed me up for my next question here, because I was going to point to that and ask you if this style of event and what you have created has actually brought more awareness to these nonprofits that they otherwise may not have had and would have found it much more difficult to raise the money they are. And I think that 44% probably answers my question, but I'm going to let you answer that question.
No, it absolutely does. I think that's one of the most remarkable metrics that we take away from this event is how many new individuals are coming to it, and that can extend the relationship well beyond this day. But we also know that nonprofits themselves are connecting with each other in ways that we never envisioned. So you're having organizations that connect and say, you know what, we could programmatically do something that simply because we weren't aware that we existed or that our programs had alignment. So that energy that's created by awareness and understanding of the work that's happening in our community is creating opportunities that goes well beyond this day.
That's a lot of synergy, like you mentioned. Last year, $2.5 million were raised. You had the Packers with you on this, and with their match, they donate $250,000. How is the match working this year? Because there's more than that this year. Yeah,
the momentum just carried right over to this year. We had some new donors who came on board and leveraged that even further. So we have over $500,000 that's become available, really from the inspired leadership of the Green Bay Packers. And how it works is really very simple. If a nonprofit raises 5% of the total that day, they receive 5% of that pool, if you will. And we do that intentionally because we create a real diverse mix of nonprofits throughout the day, from the smallest, maybe unknown nonprofit to the largest ones, and they all have different fundraising capacity. So for them to enjoy a real equal share of that pool, by doing it on a percentage basis, it gives everyone a shot to have a real impact, no matter the scale of your organization.
Right, and again, it's ongoing right now, and these 45 nonprofits, let's take a step back. How do you vet them? How do you select them?
Yeah, it's really tough because there are hundreds of nonprofits that are doing great work. We ask for an application, a real simple application, to express their interest, because it is a big commitment of their time and energy and voice. And last year we received over 150 applications for the program. But our goal is really to create a smaller cohort of organizations that really defines a narrative of our community. So we try to create a diverse mix of organizations that represents about 11 different fields of interest to give people a sense of what's happening during the year. And by keeping it to 45 groups, we not only can focus on those narratives, on what's happening in our community with greater intention, but also the dollars that are raised can go that much further. But we say to people all the time, we hope that these stories will inspire people to give to any organization that's important to them throughout the course of the year. This is really just a representative sample of what's happening in our community.
Well, it's already begun, as we mentioned. It's called Give Big Green Bay. Are you at all concerned that it's going to be harder to give bigger Green Bay this year, because we're all dealing with inflation and it's something that nonprofits deal with on their own, besides being in this big pool for a one-day event?
Yeah, whether it was during the pandemic or certainly during an inflationary environment, the demands that are being placed on nonprofits continue to grow and grow and grow, because some of the services are needed the most. and that they're certainly strained because people's economic circumstances are changed. Certainly the dollar today is not going as far as it did earlier in that. I think everyone understands that, so it's really, really important to be able to invest in these organizations to help each other. But I think that as we tell the stories of what they're doing in our community, it really moves people to give. And you can also give at any level that's appropriate for you.
Correct.
So you can give as little as $10 or as much as your economic circumstance allows. Every single dollar matters a great deal, no matter what the circumstance is.
Terrific. Dennis, good luck with it. Looking forward to hearing what the totals are and talking with year 7 about you next year.
Thanks, Chris.